Good afternoon. It's a rainy afternoon here in Tampa Bay, and I'm David Warner, Editor-in-Chief of DuPont Registry Tampa Bay, and this is our latest episode of Tampa Bay Talks, our weekly podcast, video cast with the most interesting people in the area. And today's guest is one of my favorite people and somebody I know well from working with her on the board of her organization. That's Barbara St. Clair, who is the Executive Director and also CEO, is that correct?
CEO.
CEO. CEO of Creative Pinellas, which is the Pinellas County's public arts agency. But there's a lot more to it than that. And Barbara, maybe you could give a quick rundown of what it is, and then we'll talk a little bit about the main reason you're here, which is the Arts Annual coming up this week.
Sure. So Creative Pinellas is the local arts agency for Pinellas County. And what that means is we partner with the Board of County Commissioners on all things arts related. And in this wonderful community that we live in, all things arts related could be anything from wonderful museums and art galleries and art walks and great theater and great performances, murals. It sort of runs the gamut. And our focus is to support and sustain and nurture artists and the arts community, and also to really help promote Pinellas County as a cultural destination, an arts and cultural destination. And so we do a lot internally to develop our artists and arts communities through grants and exhibitions, and we also do a lot externally. We have a wonderful journal. We have Arts In, which is a digital portal where you can enjoy the arts from Pinellas County from your seat anywhere around the world. And so we're sort of broad-based in the activities that we do.
And, it's interesting how the arts are so integrated into our lives and how important an organization like Creative Pinellas becomes at a time of crisis, as it has been this past, so many months. Among many organizations in the area, but certainly among the first and foremost, have paved the way for finding ways for artists to present their work online, and also finding ways to support artists whose income is precarious at best most times. And during a time like this, so many of their sources of income have just been stoppered. So I wonder if you could talk a little bit about your reaction to the coronavirus crisis, what Creative Pinellas did.
Right. Well, somebody reminded me recently that when in the middle of March, when the stay safer at home orders started coming down and arts organizations started closing, that we kind of thought maybe we were in it for a few weeks or a month or whatever. And here we are, it's November. And there's been, as you pointed out, tremendous pressure on artists and arts organizations who do have kind of a precarious existence. Many of the arts organizations here in Pinellas County probably get about half of their income from ticket sales, from audiences coming in either to the museum or to the theater or to the show. Anyway, to roll back to March, I started getting emails from some of the theater companies saying, we're doing all sorts of special cleaning. It's still safe to come. We're doing social distancing. It's still safe to come. We're closing down and we're not going to be able to continue our shows. And I started thinking about all of the actors and all of the support staff. And then of course, galleries were closing and art walks that were scheduled were shut down. And it seemed to me very quickly we could be a community in crisis. So in cooperation with the St. Pete Arts Alliance, the Foundation for a Healthy St. Petersburg, and the Pinellas Community Foundation, we created an artist relief fund right away. And that launched in, I think, April. So one of the things that we got very involved in is how do you fund people and how do you fund organizations right now who, were planning on selling tickets or planning on selling artwork on Saturday, and suddenly that disappears. And then we also started working with the county on CARES Act funds, which we have been able to distribute to artists this fall, you could apply for a CARES Act fund and get money from that. So we did some things very direct and dynamic to get out money into the community. Additionally, I mentioned Arts In, and we created that portal and invited artists of all kinds to provide us video, or in some cases music, or even podcasts that we would put on our online portal, and we paid artists an honorarium for that. So artists who might have been able to, they might have been planning to go to a show, and they might have been planning to have sales, and that disappeared. They could submit their work to us, and as long as it made, you know, some sort of basic thresholds for quality and content, we would put it on our Arts In and pay a small honorarium to the artists so that they could have some income coming in.
And that's at creativepinellas.org. And
Yes.
I should point out that Creative Pinellas did such a good job of this that you received, or the organization received, an award from Best of the Bay, the Creative Loafing Annual Awards, for being leaders in online art. And one of my favorite experiences, which is making me very excited about what we're going to be talking about next, is watching the virtual gala that we did earlier this year,
Yeah.
which was one of the first. It was before a lot of the big ones happened from Broadway and from other
Right.
big arts organizations, but it went very smoothly, and it was a series of performances, some live, some taped, and live introductions from artists who, some of the best artists in Tampa Bay, and it was surprisingly effective. You know, sometimes some of these things aren't very effective. We live in Zoom, and this felt like it was better than Zoom, and I think that's what leads us to the big deal coming up this weekend, starting November 11th, with the event on November 14th. No,
Okay, so
starting on November 12th.
Right.
I have somehow had this stuck in my head. Starting November 12th and moving to the 15th is the Arts Annual Exhibition and the Arts Annual Virtual Festival on Sunday. So tell us a little bit more about that.
So if you would be so kind as to indulge me, the Arts Annual, our first Arts Annual was in 2018, and it was named Arts Annual very purposely, because we decided as an organization, in our making the connections between our artist community and our tourist community, and having them nurture and reinforce each other, that we were going to create an event, have it every year, an arts event that would be annual, and slowly but surely build up so that it would become an event that people would put on their calendars, not just people living in Pinellas County, but people living across the state and regionally, and start to plan to come to Pinellas County in November to see our amazing visual and performing artists and literary artists at this magnet event that we launched in 2018. In the gallery at Creative Pinellas, which is the large gallery in Pinewood Park in Largo. We were tremendously successful based on what our expectations were. We had hundreds of people come to the gala, and it was written up as a really excellent show. Kudos to Danny Alda on the Creative Pinellas team, who curates the show every year. In 2019, we essentially doubled what we were doing, and we had people visiting from Manhattan, and we had people visiting from Sarasota, and we were very excited moving into 2020. And of course, we had to rethink 2020. So we rethought, we spent quite a bit of time rethinking how we could do it, and came up with a multi-channel program. I need to just step back and add one thing. In 2019, we also launched Arts Annual BTW, which means Arts Annual Beyond the Walls. And we brought artists, we brought art from the artists who are participating in the Arts Annual into hotels around Pinellas County. So last year, 2019, we had two parts. This year, 2020, we have 4 parts to the Arts Annual. We are open in the exhibit. It's a very large gallery, so it is possible to do social distancing in the gallery. And we essentially have 10 people in at any time, and there's multiple rooms, and we want you to wear a mask when you're there. So you can come there and be very safe and enjoy art in the present physically, which is really wonderful. We also have a digital arts annual, and when people think of art galleries online, maybe they think of, you can see the artwork in a normal web page type environment. Well, ours is more like a video game. You actually take your mouse and you go around, turn corners, and you can go up to the artwork and look at it really closely, or go back, and it's fun. It's a fun digital art gallery. So we have Arts Annual Physical, we have Arts Annual Digital. We have Arts Annual Beyond the Walls. We're in 12 hotels this year. And also we are launching today, in fact, today, which is today being the 9th of November for me. You could go to our website and click on the links and see a short video about the art that's in the hotel and the artists who made it. And then on the 15th, we are a live, pre-recorded but live arts festival for performing and visual arts. And we're really looking forward to that. This is a fundraiser for us, so you can, for $25, you can sign up and have that whole package. The gallery is free. The online digital gallery is free. You can certainly see the art in the hotels for free. If you want to see the festival, you need to have that ticket, but we are positioning it as, for $25, you get the whole thing and you can contribute to Creative Pinellas. And
the event on Sunday starts at what time?
Oh my gosh, I should know that. I believe it's, I'm going to have to get back to you that.
Okay, we'll add it at the end.
Oh, I'm drawing, I want to say 4, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to go online and take a quick look.
Oh, good. But also, I think it's worth pointing out that the artists that are participating in the Arts Annual represent a cross-section of all the artists that have been given grants during the last several years from Pinellas, right. Creative Pinellas, which is another really vital part of the Creative Pinellas mission, is to provide grants and to oversee grant panels by independent professionals who then decide from applications who will be receiving grants that year. And that means this is an extremely rigorously curated bunch, and there are lots of people that you may have heard of and many you might not have, but they're all excellent. And that's particularly was fun when we had the live event. And I'm glad, because we've had the example of the virtual gala early this year, that we can recreate some of this excitement, that you not only are in a gallery looking at artwork that's stationary or on a wall or in some other kind of visual art form, you get to see performers of all kinds, right. Dance, musicians, actors, and that's all going to be part of the virtual festival on Sunday.
That is correct, which is at 4 o'clock. I knew it was at 4, but you know how you sometimes get that, like.
Actually, I was sure it was 4 too, but I didn't want to make another mistake.
So yes, it's from 4 to 6. What you said about the grants is and the artists here is so important. What we've realized with the grant making process is it's relationship building. You know, we use the word grants, but what we're really doing is building relationships with Creative Pinellas and the artists who receive grants, and with the artists who receive grants with each other and with the community. And so over time, it's almost as if we have a cadre of artists who are connected to each other and to Creative Pinellas, and they come together for this show, and it is an explosive, creatively explosive show. Arts of many, many different kinds. So, you know, if you like very classical art, if you like abstract art, if you like sculpture, and then as you pointed out, there's a performing art element to it as well. And how we handled that in the past is we would have the live performers there for our gala and then have videos. So we've moved the live performance online, of course, this year. But it's such a wonderful showcase, and it really kind of gives you the idea of the depth of talent and creativity and artistic power that is in this community, and really, you know, meant to put this community on the map yet again, because Pinellas County and, you know, St. Pete and Dunedin, Safety Harbor, they are on the map as arts community, but, you know, you just build on that and
You have to
expand people's awareness of it.
And you're sowing the seeds for the future too. The Emerging Artists exhibition that was earlier this year, it was up online as well. One of the most valuable features, I think, of that is that we pair mentors, more experienced artists with emerging artists.
Yes.
And talk about fostering relationships. I think the work seems to be beneficial to both in those partnerships, and you can see it in the work of the newer artist and in the older artist. And I think we'll be seeing both emerging artist exhibition recipients and
Yes.
our seniors in this annual on Sunday. They probably won't want to be called that, but
Oh yeah, the Arts Annual. So if you received a grant from Creative Pinellas, and it's, you know, would be either our professional artist grant or our emerging artist grant, or a special grant that we've done in the past, which is called the Act 2 grant, which we did it in partnership with the Pinellas Community Foundation for, to your point, a senior group. Then you are eligible, you are invited to be part of the Arts Annual. It's not a requirement of the grant, but it's such a showcase. And also it's an opportunity for people to purchase art. Come to the Arts Annual and see some of the most amazing artists who paint or sculpt or perform in Pinellas County, and you can purchase the work that's on the walls. And that's really exciting. And Creative Pinellas gets a small percentage of that, but the artist gets a much larger percentage than generally like that they would in a typical gallery. So it's nice for them as well, because of course, you know, being an artist is also an economic function. You know, it's a business, and you want to be able to sell your work and earn money from that work. So the Arts Annual also is a good opportunity for the artists, and I would say it's a collector's paradise if you were an arts collector.
And you know, it's a good reminder that the arts is vital to any urban economy, and into Pinellas County, it brings in money. It brings in patrons, it brings in visitors, and artists are not just off in a garret somewhere piddling away and making things for their own pleasure. They're actually contributing to the fabric, the cultural and economic fabric of where we live. And you can help that keep on going by supporting the Arts Annual on Sunday and going to the exhibition, which opens on the 12th. Let's just give some more details. The URL, the dates again, the times, and how to buy a ticket for Sunday.
So you could go to creativepinellas.org /Arts Annual, and you can get your ticket from that site and find out more information about all of the details, including the correct time, which is 4 to 6, as we discussed, and more about the artists who will be participating. And the gallery is open. It generally is open Wednesday through Sunday from noon to 5. This week only, because we're launching the show on Thursday the 12th. We won't be open on Wednesday, but any other time between now and about December 20th, Wednesday through Sunday, you can go and see the exhibit. It's live. You'll be able to go online and see the digital exhibit. And then, of course, visit the hotels that have the artwork in it, if that's convenient for you. And then attend the festival.
See you
on
Sunday. And those tickets can be purchased on the creativepinellas.org website, correct?
Right. creativepinellas.org /Arts Annual.
And while you're at creativepinellas.org, let me recommend that you dip into Arts Coast Journal, which is
Right.
a compendium of some of the best arts writing in the Bay region. And I think when there is a dearth of arts writing in a lot of publications these days, it's great to have that resource edited masterfully by Sheila Colley, who is an artist and a playwright in her own right. And that's another great service that Creative Pinellas is providing. And
Thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, I mean, I really admire what you're doing as a arts journalist of some sort myself. And I'm also, you know, as I said earlier, I'm not entirely unbiased here. I'm vice president of the board of Creative Pinellas, but I couldn't be prouder of what they're doing. I think Pinellas County is proud of what the organization is doing as well. They should be. I think the commission supports the work of Creative Pinellas. I think that'll continue with the new group that's there, that's just been elected. So it's a resource for you, Pinellas, and all you neighboring counties that aren't Pinellas. Come on over and see what we're doing. And so that's what we're talking about here today. And I'm so glad to have the chance to allow you, Barbara, to talk about a little bit more detail. And again, I'm David Warner with DuPont Registry Tampa Bay. This is Tampa Bay Talks. We've been talking with Barbara St. Clair, the CEO of Creative Pinellas. And we'll see you next week on Tampa Bay Talks.